Okay, so I have cleaned up all the interior parts here for the speedo drive. Everything cleaned up really nice. Didn't see any damage on the ring gear. Just washed it out with some paint thinner. There was all kinds of dried up, goofy old grease in there. And then I just put everything through my wire brush there on my grinder, my wire brush wheel. So I was going to take these end caps off and get the worm gear out of there. But then I realized this one's a little bit different. It's got these two rivets here, and it dawned on me that there's likely a machined part of these for the shaft, probably not the covers, but for the shaft, that these fit into. So it's machined into the ends of the shaft, and then these brass caps go on the end. And I didn't want to cut off these rivets. I don't want to grind them out, get the rivets out. I could probably do that and get the thing out, but at the end of the day, it's spinning really freely and there's no sound, you know, like it's not grinding or anything like that. I spun it around several times now. I've looked, there's no visible damage to the gear itself. The teeth are in good shape, nothing's broken, nothing's chipped. So I'm just going to give it a really good washing out and then just blow it out with my air gun off my compressor, clean it up, and then start to grease it up and get it put back together and reassemble it. But yeah, I don't think I'll need to pop this worm gear out, and I don't think it's worth messing with. If this was just, if they were just held on some other way, it'd be easy, or if those were screws, but they're not, the rivets, and I'm just not going to mess with that. So that's that. And just so you can see, if you've never seen one of these apart, so these are basically well, there's 5 pieces because I put the felt washer back inside this retainer here. But the gear goes into the case, and then this flat washer goes on top of it, and the felt washer with its retainer goes on top of that, and this is just a friction fit. This top part is just a friction fit in there, so when I put it in, I'll just have to be very careful to get it nice and straight in the casting, or in that, and then just kind of gently tap it around the outside to kind of make, like a bearing, make it go down evenly. And then this retainer, I'm not sure this retainer is required at all. I mean, really, when this thing's in, pushing against the flat washer, holding in the ring gear, what's the point of this? I'm not quite clear on that, so I'll probably put it back in because it's just 4 screws. If it was riveted and I had to cut the rivets off, I probably would just pitch this and just get some epoxy, JB Weld, and just kind of put little dabs in here to fill in the holes to keep them filled in, and just go without the retainer. But it's here, and it's not hurt anything to put it back in, so I'm going to put it back in. And so it's going to go back together. I'm going to finish cleaning this up and reinstall it and see what it looks like when I get it back together.